And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It's your boy Bangoose, and go ahead and introduce yourself this week, Sage.
What's good, Goose? It's your boy Sage the Mark. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I just banged the hell out of my mic.
Perfect. Then I can just say, "Are we ready?"
Y'all ready to party? Y'all ready to party? I guess not. Let's kick off the show this week.
I had to do it, bro.
That's where we got to start off the show this week, ain't it? So last week we go off the air, and I think it was over last weekend. It's just interesting the way things work out. So it gets online. Ja Rule's at the Bucks game. He's performing at halftime. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? I guess not. Dead silence. Posted, and they shamed the dude. It was a post that was there to make the dude. It was there to make Complex posted it. It's there to make Ja look embarrassing. Maybe there's some hate over the Fire Festival thing. Maybe there's not. There's the old saying, you don't kick a man while he's down. Who knows? But maybe he's not down because he hasn't been arrested, anything like that. But man, and then a couple of hours later, somebody leaked a video shot on their phone of, nah, this is how it really went down. The fans were still into it.
Yeah, man. They did him dirty, bro.
Yeah, they got him good. I don't know. His response was, you don't mess with a god. I don't know about this god thing. Like,
yeah.
How good was Ja Rule? Like, really? Like, he had a streak. And to me, he had the streak of popularity, beef with 50, and that was it.
Yeah, man. I often wonder that myself, man. I mean, honestly, every time I think of Murder Inc. and Ja Rule specifically, I think of Ashanti, man. I think that, like, if they didn't have Ashanti, I don't think that they would have been as big as they were. I mean, I'm not saying that like she was the hit maker or anything like that, but she just kind of brought the it factor. Like, we're a legit group together, and I feel bad because like she's just tied, ultra talented, and she's tied to him, and all this misfortune that's happened to them in the last 2 years has nothing to really do with her specifically.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think what also made him popular is they had ties to J-Lo. Not that she was part of Murder Inc., but yeah. Two of Ja's biggest songs were with J-Lo. But then Ja beefed with, and I remember hearing this song. It's I think the only diss track I've ever heard in a club. I remember going to the club back in my college days and hearing the Busta Rhymes diss track and being like, dang. And that's a diss track is a terrible song to play at a club because you don't sing to it, you don't dance to it. But it's great. And then maybe that's what kicked off diss tracks being okay to play in the club, unless it was old Pac stuff. Or maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe diss tracks are okay. Because I'd wild out if I heard back to back.
Yeah.
So I'm wrong. Ben Goosen admitting he's wrong. Diss tracks are okay to play in the club.
So let me ask you. Go ahead, Goose.
You said Murder Inc. was good, headlined by Ashanti. Name 2 other members of Murder Inc. Go.
I mean, it's Irv Gotti.
Okay, good call.
And that's it, man. I can't name anybody else. Just Ashanti, Irv Gotti, and oh no, what's his name?
Fat Joe,
dude who owned the magazine.
Benzino.
Wasn't he part of Murder Inc.? I think he was, bro.
I don't know. Who was it? Oh, I don't remember who.
I know it's Irv, Ashanti, Ja, and I want to say Benzino. but I could be wrong about that. Oh, we got people from Portugal. Welcome, Portugal. Appreciate
Wow.
you being here, bro.
Yeah, you can see the Bullet Club tee, my friend. Like I said, we do it live.
Oh, he's saying Fat Joe. That's saying Fat Joe. No, Fat Joe
Fat
wasn't in no.
that
He was
I was
no.
just about to say Fat Joe was in Murder Inc.
Fat Joe was not in no Murder Inc., bro. He
Are
was
you
riding the
sure?
coat. Yeah, man. He was too busy
I'm from
riding the
New
coattails
York,
of.
New York.
Yeah,
They just did songs together?
a big pun, man. He was. Yeah, he just. That's all. He was just riding the coattails, man. He was too busy riding the coattails of Big Pun. May he rest in peace.
Smarkdown, you got a great name. Everybody listening, we do the chat live, unedited, unscripted. Actually, we really don't even edit the podcast. I send it to Sage. He does the magic, and it gets posted. Believe me, if it's my week to edit the podcast, which I think we'll talk about it offline. I think I'm going to be doing one in 3 weeks by myself,
Okay.
but we'll see. Yeah, you could definitely tell the difference, but not because the editing's bad. It's because we get extra turned up. When I host the show by myself, it goes from TVMA to rated NC-18. It's 8. No, I'm kidding. But what up, Smarkdown? Great to hear you. Hey, love Portugal, man. It's a beautiful place. Somewhere it's Portugal and Brazil are 2 places south of the U.S., south of Mexico that I really wanted to visit. I had 3 friends back in the day used to, and I'm in a Mexican city, but these guys wanted to learn Portuguese. And it's just amazing place. Great culture. So you guys seen the Twitter war between Becky and Rhonda? It's getting pretty absurd. Oh, smart. Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that in a bit.
Tranquilo, my brother. Tranquilo.
Yeah.
We about to hit that.
We're definitely going to get to that. Who was before we finish, and we'll get off this Ja Rule thing. Who was the girl? They had a girl that was supposed to be like Bad Boy had Faith Evans, right?
Yeah.
Like the last kind of inclination of Bad Boy.
Yeah, Faith.
But who was the girl that Murder Inc. had? They had Ashanti and another girl that I used to think was fine.
Let me see.
Charlie
Baltimore?
Yeah, that's her. She was definitely.
Charlie Baltimore was not in no Murder Inc.
Yeah, she was.
Charlie Baltimore?
Yeah, the girl with the red hair, light skin.
Oh, I know who Charlie Baltimore is.
Yeah, she was fine, but I don't remember. Right. I think she was dating somebody.
So we got Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd. I didn't know Lloyd was in it. You're right, man. Charlie Baltimore.
See?
Yeah, man. And Christina Milian. Forgot that.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, man. I now remember. Yeah, she was. And she fell off the face of the earth after that, man. I think she had some kids, and that's all she wrote.
Ugh. You know what? Let's just get into it. Because
wait. So just the premise of my inquiry on this is: do we think that it's time for us to stop giving L's to Ja Rule, or is it never going to get old?
See, it's the land of the troll nowadays with social media and being quick. So it's meme worthy and troll worthy to keep ragging on the dude, because now it's just, unfortunately, it's just easy. Which, by the way, after I watched the Fire Festival thing, I went back and me and my friend
listened.
Netflix. Good question.
Okay.
We went back and I went back and listened to Ja Rule's very first album. Man, he's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he could spit back in the day.
Yeah, he's not bad.
No, I'm not saying he's like anywhere near GOAT. And he, did the mainstream thing to make a lot of money. I'd do the same thing. But yeah, his first album was actually I was really impressed. I forgot how good it was. Holla, holla. So
oh crap, he did sing that song.
Yeah.
It's murder.
Yeah. But Jaws got some hits. But yeah, we do got to ease back on giving him the L. Because at this point, it's like me saying, man, Ja Rule's music, man, his music ain't that great anymore. So who cares? Like, he's gotten the L so much that
it's part of his life lesson, man. Even Batista gave him the L in that movie, that straight to DVD movie, man.
I think it went straight to
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, I saw it at the Red Box.
Yeah.
Bro, I think I saw that movie too, because it was one of those, like,
Blockbuster was still around when that movie was out, bro.
You know what? I did see it. And I remember I did because I want to say I left a gas station and was like, what the hell? Because every gas station you leave, you're walking past a red box. And I saw Batista and Van Damme. Yeah, you know what? I did see that movie. And I remember thinking, damn, this movie sucks. And I don't remember much about it. I know for a fact I saw it though, because they're in jail, right, or something like that.
Yeah. There's someone like them getting out of jail or something like that, and Ja Rule runs this crew, and yeah,
It just I
Batista took
remember
him out like in like 2 minutes.
I remember seeing it, thinking like, man, Ja Rule's like 5'6", 5'8", and Batista, I assume 6'3" and jacked. Not sure if I'm buying this, but I got to support it. It was back when, as a wrestling fan, and let us know in the chat or hit us up on Twitter at Real WrestleCast and let us know, are we still at a point where it's mandatory as a wrestling fan to watch wrestling or movies with wrestlers in it? Because The Rock is the biggest action star in the world, and I haven't seen every movie he's been in. I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I feel like The Rock's movies are also better seen in theaters. But I haven't seen The Marine 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I did see the Triple H school bus chaperone. I did see that.
The Chaperone, yeah.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half. I can't get back.
Yeah, Triple H, don't quit your day job, bro.
Yeah, Triple H, please. After Blade 3, just love you, bro.
We appreciate you trying, though, man. We respect that. We respect that trying, man.
Yeah. But do we still have to see movies with wrestlers in them?
The only one that I would recommend is Fighting with My Family. I saw that over the weekend, and it was amazing.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It's not your typical wrestling movie by chance. I mean, I think it was kind of promoted that way, but it really does give a good insight of like the way the world sees wrestling versus what the actual reality of it is. And like the fairy tale endings that we think actually happen don't really happen the way that they happen. And it's pretty good, man. It really revolves around the story and the relationship between Paige and her brother, and their journey, their comeuppance, and the path that they thought they would take together versus what the actual reality of it was. But I give it a solid A-, man. Solid A-.
Okay. So where does it? No, we won't answer that. I'm not going to ask that question because it would contain a spoiler. Yep. I feel like I need to see this movie. I don't think it'll be in theaters that long, unfortunately. Not in a bad way. There's just Captain Marvel comes out next week. There's a lot of heavy hitters coming out soon.
This is true. Next week is I think it starts in 2 weeks.
It's getting great reviews. It's actually getting, or not Captain Marvel. I don't remember if we talked about that last week with the trolls hating on it to try to get the downvotes.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. And yeah, apparently episode 9 is being screened too. Star Wars episode 9 is being screened too, and it's been getting that same treatment as Captain America. And I know that Rotten Tomatoes has kind of done a few things where users can't actually post commentary until the release of the movie.
So good for them, because now they're the go-to movie critic.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Hello and welcome to Movie Phone.
Yeah, they need to bring that back, don't they? Let's
for sure, bro.
Anything outside of WWE, Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night Smacketh Down. Should we get? Oh, you know what? Let's get into this before we get into Raw and SmackDown, because we had a great week in wrestling. You called it. If you go back and listen to last week's episode, I believe, I don't remember what minute mark it was or anything like that, but did you or did you not mention, and we were texting about it later last weekend, did you not make a prediction that TJP would be gone?
I did. Dude, that freaked me the hell out. Dude, when I saw like on Tuesday, I think I had texted you on Tuesday, and then I had brought it up on that Thursday. But just the way that he was wrestling and I mean, it just kind of, and I love TJP, but it just kind of like it felt like he gave two fucks in that match, bruh. And I was like, man, he's either gonna get canned because of his tattoos or he's gonna get canned because of his performance. But he definitely looked like he had a chip on his shoulder. And yeah, man, I think it was that same night. As soon as we went off the air, they had announced that him, Double A, and Ty were gone. So
Kenta as well, yeah.
yeah, Kenta. Well, heck, we knew Kenta was already gone
Yeah,
though. It
Tommy.
was just,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
they just
sure.
made it official. But yeah, man, that was kind of freaky, man. I wish him all the well, man. He's a cool guy, really is.
He's responded to us.
Yeah, several times. I just whatever he decides to do, I definitely wish him well. Can't wait to see him in ZSJ and Will Ospreay go at it because they have chemistry and magic in the ring.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody who got released will be fine. Arn Anderson will. I don't know why he got released. I don't know if that was more of like a budget cut or maybe his style is just out of date. I'm not. I don't know any of that behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it's just
Maybe just pissed off the wrong person or they're going in a different direction. It
I heard
happens.
him and Vince got into it about some creative differences, and then with the new Abyss coming in and someone else coming in for creative, I think it was time.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what? We've seen it. It happens. You and I have personally seen it happen
yeah.
at the workplace. Doesn't mean you're not talented. He'll probably go to AEW and help those guys out. It's always good to have an old school mindset. I wasn't really surprised by any of the let goes. However, I will say this. I was thinking about this in the car today. The first ever cruiserweight 205 Live champion was released within what? Was it a year and a half of being this summer, I think will be, or within, we'll just say a year and a half of 205 Live being created, or the cruiserweight division being created.
Aren't they
Not
on their
205 Live.
They're on their second year.
It'll be this summer, right? Because the brand split's only 2 years old, ain't it?
Yeah, this is their second year.
Okay. So the first ever cruiserweight champion is now officially out of the WWE.
Yep.
Hideo Itami went to 205 Live and was supposed to bring in a big boost. You know, injuries, maybe happened, didn't happen, but he was a huge signing that went to 205 Live, and now he's gone. I made a prediction that 205 Live won't be a thing effective January 1st, 2020. So you've had one of the main guys in Hideo Itami gone, your first champion gone, another champion in Neville gone, Enzo gone, and the time of your show got reduced by 30 minutes. So what is it? WWE UK could be on. Do you think that my prediction is going to come to fruition?
I actually hate to say this, but I do. And on top of those notables there, you also have Drew Gulak, which is arguably one of their best wrestlers, both in the ring and on the mic, is going down to NXT, which means that he's eventually going to end up on the main roster. We're not seeing as much from some of the other cruiserweights, like Spanky. Brian
Gone.
Kendrick. Yeah. Well, he's still there, but he's
not on TV. Cedric, not on TV.
Cedric's not on TV.
Rich Swann, he was a champ for a bit, right?
Yeah.
Did he win a title?
For a bit. Yeah, he won the title.
He's gone.
Yeah. He was gone for different reasons though. So I wouldn't lump him in the same category. And Austin Aries again, I wouldn't lump him in the same category.
Yeah, Double A.
But yeah, man, it's in the format's a little bit different, man. Like I don't Aiden English is like annoying as flip, man. Like him and his banter against Mike Kanellis is just it's bad.
Wait, so what's Mike Kanellis doing?
So Mike Kanellis has a gimmick going on where he's just losing matches. Like he's dominating the match like 90% of the time, but can't come across the finish line.
In 205?
At 205, yeah.
But,
I mean, that's his gimmick.
He does not weigh 205 pounds.
Oh, I mean, I'm not the judge, but I mean
Mm.
that's what's happening. But it seems like that. I think they're going to try to put him in a program with Aiden English when Aiden finally gets better. But Aiden and Maria are kind of just jaw jacking, and it's getting to be a little bit too much. Yeah, and it's I'm hoping that that stops pretty soon, but who
Me
knows?
too. I hate that they're not using Maria and Mike Kanellis because Maria can gain heat. Like them being the lovey-dovey couple, and the fact that he took her last name shows her dominance. Those two could be a real heel couple with Maria
Yeah,
on the mic. And I'm not saying Maria has like Miz style mic skills, but she's been in the business long enough to know, okay, well, this is what gets me some heat. And with this lovey-dovey couple, no, there's one thing that people just don't like in general. They don't like seeing, and that's PDA, public
yeah,
displays of affection, unless it's an elderly couple that's been married 50 years. People don't want to see that shit. But when this couple does it, and then they tell you, "Oh, I love my husband. By the way, we're gonna come beat the crap out of you here in a little bit." Man, that's huge.
yeah. Don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm hoping that it turns into something meaningful. Maybe he actually wins the big one. They're gonna have to get the strap off of Buddy Murphy somehow. I don't know who the gatekeeper would be, but I do envision him being the title holder. Um, but it's just a matter of figuring out how they're gonna take the title off of Buddy and still make him look strong, you know?
Yeah, of course, especially with WrestleMania season coming up. I won't be
Yeah.
surprised if at WrestleMania they do something. Unfortunately, it'll be on the kickoff show, but they do something that's like a. They'll probably just go with the regular format of a four-man, four-way elimination that showcases the cruiserweights.
Yeah, it sucks, man, because out of all the titles, that's the only one on WrestleMania that hasn't been subject to a multi-man match. So it's kind of sucked that it'd be the first time that they actually do it. But hey, who knows? It's wrestling.
Yeah, to each his own. Let's
Hmm.
get into we'll just do Raw first. Raw was I don't know if I want to say it was great, but there was three main parts of Raw. And then there was a bunch of I guess filler
Hmm.
segments. And the filler segments to me were pretty bad. So the three main things on Raw, would you agree, were Roman Reigns coming back? Uh I guess four main things on Raw. Roman Reigns coming back, the Shield teaser, Becky Lynch's arrest. Very Stone Cold moment, wasn't it?
Oh, for sure.
And Batista's back. Did you feel like the rest was just not great?
Um,
The Alexa Bliss thing, the Braun Strowman seg.
I got so much issues with that Alexa Bliss one. I can't wait to get into that one,
Get
man.
into it.
But
I mean, we're talking filler segments.
yeah, aside from the good stuff, which you had already aforementioned, the Bliss thing, I don't know what they're doing with Alexa Bliss, but I don't like it. Like I don't like it.
Is she hurt? She's unconcussed, right? She's healthy, right?
She just got cleared to wrestle. Like she got cleared to wrestle at Elimination Chamber, so I don't know what they're doing with this whole this moment of bliss thing. Like it's I don't like it, man. I don't. Like it's I I don't. I mean, they're having her play a cheesy
Talk show
slut.
host.
I hate to say that word, but
Oh wow.
that's how they're coming off. Like they're making her portray a slutty character.
No, I
I
go
don't
that
like
one
it
goes more
because
to Mandy Rose, doesn't it? With the Naomi and Usos and
no, because that one is more of a mode. Like her motive was she's mad at Naomi for breaking up her relationship. She's not going after every single person and trying to seduce them. I mean,
so
Bliss is
Alexa Bliss
actually
is
doing that.
seducing guys.
Yeah, I mean, she did
Oh,
it with
okay.
AC or EC3 talking about his package. And then,
Ah, okay.
doing it with Finn Balor and his abs and like Alexa is so much better than this, man. And um, I mean, shout outs to Buddy Murphy because I don't know if it was my lady portraying that, I don't know if I could handle myself, man. I don't know, I'd be a little upset, but I just don't like the way that I don't like the way that they're portraying her character. It's just I don't know. That's
Okay,
my
so this made me go down a wormhole. So I don't like it because she's good on the mic and she's good in the ring. And I thought, man, she's just another talk show host. Another talk show host. This is bad for her career. We need to see her in the ring. And then I said, you know what, Goose, go to bed. Get your ass to bed. Sleep on it. Think about it. And I did. And guess what I came to?
What up, Goose?
This is good for Alexa Bliss and it's good for the women's
Ugh,
division.
so
And let me tell you why. She was a person who had an injury at an inopportune time. So she's out for X period of time because of injury, and then she comes back, but the show keeps going on, right? So you can't really, if you input her into a women's storyline, it'll disrupt the flow of things, the natural flow that's going on. When she's going to be fine after WrestleMania and she'll be back in the mix. It's the same as Mustafa Ali. You could debate, a lot of debate going on in the wrestling world on if he was supposed to have the Kofi spot. He gets hurt. Kofi steps in, steps up. And now Mustafa Ali, he may have a couple matches here and there, but with the injury and everything, he's probably not going to get any type of his major push or whatever until after WrestleMania, because you can't really put him back into any type of Daniel Bryan storyline because it wouldn't make sense. Same thing with Alexa Bliss. The injury, bad timing, bad luck. And then I went further into this rabbit hole and I thought, wait a minute, Goose, you're onto something. Who else has hosted? Let me go down the list of people who have hosted interview segments. Man, all right. Miz, future Hall of Famer. Chris Jericho, future Hall of Famer. Go old school, Roddy Piper, Piper's Pit, is a Hall of Famer. Edge, Hall of Famer. So maybe there's something to be said when, if you're in the WWE and WWE says, you're not going to be in the ring for a bit, but we're going to give you your own talk show. I mean, the trend of folks who have their own talk show end up in the Hall of Fame, with the exception of maybe Brutus the Barber Beefcake, because his claim to fame is he had the barbershop thing, but the biggest moment that happened on that is Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty through the window, or giving him the sweet chin music and then throwing him through the window. But when you get an interview segment, or you get your own quote unquote interview show, we could hate on it, but those people go to the Hall of Fame.
But I'm not hating on the talk show. Like you make a valid point. Like, you know, it's a segue spot and it's a good spot. And but my whole thing is I don't like the way that she's being portrayed. I feel like it could be so much more. I don't think it's creative at all. I think that's my problem. It's not creative at all. It's just feeds into the. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Shout out to Smart down in the chat. He just put in, and he's calling him Goose out. I love this. Christian, the Peep Show.
That's right.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
Not yet.
So those in the chat, listen to the live show, spam the chat if you can. Christian will be a Hall of Famer, true or false? I'm not talking about Edge or Christian. I'm not talking about the Brood.
Christian will be. Not first ballot, but he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Because first ballot's really what matters. I'm serious. Because Trump is in it, Snoop Dogg's in it, Mike Tyson's in it.
Trump wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, bro.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's the first ballot, the legit people, the Macho Man's, and the DXs. There's the first ballot guys, and then there's the you're in this for entertainment's sake or because you were in the WWE somehow for 15 years. There's people who don't deserve to be. I'm calling them out. There's people who don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, there's some questionable people in the Hall of Fame for sure. But I don't think Christian will be like one of those people. Like Christian and Edge have a similar path, and in terms of their.
So is Christian first ballot to you?
I mean, I don't think he's first ballot, but I definitely think that he's up there. Like I wouldn't. So I think of it as you got your top guys, you've got your mid carders, your true mid carders that deserve to be there, but just they're not the ones who are going to close the show. And then you've got your everybody else, your honky tonks, your
hacksaws, right?
Hacksaws, your.
So then I'm gonna hit you with the hot question.
Yeah, man.
Is Owen Hart first ballot?
For sure.
No, he's not.
For sure, bro.
No, he's not.
Sure.
He's never held. First off, he never held a heavyweight championship.
Doesn't have to, man. You don't have to hold the heavyweight belt to be a first ballot, my man. You don't.
Sage.
Not at all. You don't, son. You don't.
You can't tell me that somebody's good enough to be first ballot, but they weren't good enough to be a heavyweight champion.
We're putting X-Pac in the damn Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
DX is going in as a Hall of Fame.
But DX is not as a faction has not held the heavyweight belt.
It doesn't matter as a faction. And by the way,
why should it not matter for Owen Hart, son? Why should it not matter for Owen Hart?
Okay, you're comparing.
What you got against the Blackheart, son?
You're comparing groups and individuals. And if I'm going to even go that far and say anything about that, 2 people out of DX have been heavyweight champions, and 2 people are first ballot Hall of Famers. I can't say that about the Hart Foundation.
And 2 people have not held the heavyweight belt.
Well, then look at the Hart Foundation. British Bulldog never did. Jim the Anvil Neidhart never did. Owen Hart never did.
I'm not disputing that they shouldn't be in there, my man. I'm just saying.
The Hart Foundation, we can't compare groups to individuals. Owen Hart is not first ballot to me.
I disagree with that, bro.
What is Owen Hart's best match to you?
It's got to be against his brother.
Who carried that match, Sage?
Owen Hart did.
No, he didn't.
He sure as hell did. What are you talking about?
Brett carried the match, and the story truly was Owen big brother versus little brother.
Owen told the story, man. Not Brett. Owen told the story. And we all know that as good as Brett is, in technical wise, he does not carry matches.
What do you mean?
He doesn't carry matches,
Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13, was it, where Steve Austin bled? He carried that entire match.
Nah, man. He didn't carry a match. He just followed the script, bro.
Okay. What's another great Owen Hart match?
Oh, man.
And Bila, don't just say one to say one.
Yeah. I mean, say one to say one, man. That was a legit match, bro.
No, the first one.
Okay.
That is his best
Owen's
match.
Owen's Hart series to be the king of the ring. That was great.
Okay, yeah, his King of the Ring one was good.
Yes. And then let's see. Him as a tag team with Coco Beware.
Yeah, but then that's tag team. You can't. That's different. Groups, tag teams. That's way different.
He was the Shawn Michaels of the Marty Jannetty in that group, bro. I'm just saying.
I could see what you're saying. But he's not first ballot. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad.
First ballot, bro. All right, who's a first ballot right now that he could replace? Let me see. Who we have right now is a first ballot.
Would you say Mark Henry's first ballot? See, that's tough because to me,
that one's tough.
Mark Henry is a Hall of Famer that's so loved, and he had this really long career.
Owen's. Dude,
I don't know.
Still alive, bro.
I'm saying Mark Henry is not.
Oh my god.
I think Mark Henry is not.
I don't think he is, but I think he's like one heavyweight championship away from doing it because he was never a WWE championship. He was the WCW championship, but not
right. But you can't sit here and tell me, yeah, man, Mark Henry had a 5-star match because he didn't.
Oh, but Owen had more memorable matches, in my opinion, in his time than Owen Hart did. I mean, than Mark Henry did, man. I just excluding the Hall of Fame kind of stuff, but
man, Smarkdown's coming in with the hot comments. He's basically calling me out, saying, "Well, Goose, if that's your logic, then do you think Razor Ramon is first ballot?" And I'd say yes. And SmackDown is saying, but he never had.
Yeah, he's never held the world heavyweight belt, bruh.
Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Next topic. I don't need this.
My boys, Steven Thatch and SmackDown. Let's go.
Oh, so is Jarrett SmackDown in the?
But he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
See, but he made a big impact on the wrestling industry.
Dude, he is arguably one of the top 5 greatest Intercontinental champions of all time.
He is, and he made a big impact because he showed everybody, hey, check this out. I'm going to show what WWE what happens when you don't have 90-day non-compete clauses. So he changed the game, but he's not first ballot to me. You know, by next week's show, I'm going to try to come up with people I think never were heavyweight champions that should be first ballot. Because my instant thought is Mr. Perfect.
Me too. Same.
And he was never a heavyweight champ, but he didn't need to be.
He definitely didn't need to be.
I can't think of many others. But either which way.
What's up?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
We put God rest his soul. We put Ultimate Warrior in the Hall of Fame, and Owen Hart had more memorable matches than Ultimate Warrior did in WWE.
Yeah, but Ultimate Warrior was a
character.
Yeah. He's a cartoon character that was coming to real life. So okay, let's move on. Let's move on because we're digressing.
I'm not a nugget, damn it.
Yeah, he didn't do. Okay. Owen Hart's Nation Domination days weren't great. Entertaining, sure, but
great, man. The Black Heart was great, son. Man, let's go. Let's get
okay.
Come on, man. Let's debate this all night.
Raw was good. The big moments. So Roman Reigns. We got to give props to indie jobber Lou for putting over Roman Reigns. Leukemia did the job to Roman Reigns this week on Raw. And props to Lou. Mr. Kemia showed up and he jobbed to Reigns. Reigns took out Leukemia, which that's going to be my new wrestling. I think I'm going to change that to my creative figure, my creative wrestler in WWE 2K19, Leukemia. Shout outs to Roman Reigns for making legit leukemia, do the job to him. He's in remission. So is he back? Do we know if he's back?
He's back.
Like 100%. He's going to be wrestling next week on Raw type thing.
He'll be wrestling on or after Elimination or what was his next paper? Fastlane for sure.
So he's for sure it's not announced yet, but he's for sure going to have a match at Mania somehow, some way.
Yes. I don't think it's going to be for any big title. I think it'd be a mistake to put him in for any type of title contention. But
I think they bring him back, ease him in slow. I don't know much about leukemia remission, but I am going to sit here and say I'm very happy that he's back and that this thing is in remission. It's good for him. And this isn't me trolling or anything like that. I'm legit, like as a fan, as a man, I'm really happy that it's in. I don't really know about remission. I think it just means it's going away. But
just say it, Goose. Just say it.
No, there's nothing. This is a legit Ben Goosen thank you Roman Reigns moment. And dude got over. The fans respected him. They cheered him. He got a great reaction, and it's a scripted sport, but I felt like what he said in the ring was real and it connected. So shout out to, how do you pronounce his last name? Joe Anoa'i?
Anoa'i, I think. Anoa'i.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah. Shout outs to Jason Momoa, Roman Reigns. No. And you know what? Shout out to Jason Momoa too for doing Aquaman in 2022. They need to. I want to see Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns versus the Usos. That's what I want to see at Mania.
You were so bad, dude. You were so bad.
No, that wasn't a knock on the leukemia thing. I really legit am happy that he's back. But how has nobody ever talked about how Roman Reigns and Jason Momoa look exactly alike?
I think we
and do
covered it a
Hakas.
couple of times in the
Okay.
past.
I digress. I've been venting. Great to see Roman back. He's super over. I loved the intro segment. So now that he's back, we had the Shield tease, man. What are your thoughts on that segment?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, considering what they're trying to do with Dean Ambrose's character. I mean, I'm all for it, man. I like the fact that they're letting Dean do whatever the hell he wants. I think it kind of adds more character to his character, if that makes any sense. But I mean, I'm all for it as long as it's not like a long lasting thing. I think I'd be all right for it, man.
Yeah, I think right now with Dean, they know he's gone in April, so they're just kind of unless they
Work,
fool me
work,
over.
work.
Yeah, you think so?
It is, man. It's a work. No way he's gonna leave his wife there all alone.
His wife and his two best friends.
That's right.
You never know, though, man. Sometimes you just want to go. That's the thing. If you think about it from a business aspect, you go to AEW, you sign a big ass contract with them, you become one of their top stars, and then you come back in 3 years and you tell Vince, "Man, this paycheck." it's like any company you work for. You leave, you get a push, you come back, you get paid. Granted, I'm pretty sure he's getting paid very well.
What's the girl's name in the that horror film, the one with the long hair?
The Grudge or The Ring or something?
Yeah, The Ring. Soraya.
No, that's Paige's name.
I think that's what it is. Soraya. I think it is Soraya.
Those of y'all in the chat and those of y'all tweeting with us live.
Anyways,
in the words from The Grudge or The Ring.
In the words of Soraya from The Ring, aka from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, to Dean Ambrose, oh no, motherfucker, you ain't going nowhere.
Yes, man. The look Ambrose gave his brothers in the Shield, looking at him like, they looked at him like, hey, man, you want to do this or what? And he looked at them like, hey, what y'all looking at? You know, I turned heel a couple months ago, right?
That's right. Can we just scoot that under the carpet?
Yeah. But yeah, shout outs in the chat. What up, Silky Mel? Damn, he's blessed. Silky Mel in the chat.
Oh, that royalty.
And Smartdown letting us know Dean Ambrose has been removed from the live shows after Mania. It was a good Shield moment. Great Shield moment. And I like that it was a teaser because they could have brought them all back in that same moment and just crapped on Dean Ambrose's heel turn. But they didn't. They left it as a teaser. They came out. They helped them out. But the tie-in was kind of Dean was getting beat up by this new stable. And Rollins just happens to have beef with this stable as well. So he came and helped him out. But that's the thing is, I don't remember, but was Bobby Lashley beating up on Dean too? He came out, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Bobby Lashley, Corbin,
McIntyre,
and Elias.
Yes, because it was kind of like Elias was joining their threesome that they got.
Yeah, they were. I think that he was the transition. The feud transition was supposed to be Elias, so I think that's the way that they were trying to set it up.
But it's weird because technically Finn Balor should have come out because he doesn't like Bobby Lashley.
I honestly think that Bobby Lash or Finn's going to be tied up with
don't say Leo Rush.
Yeah, with Leo Rush. I think he's going to be tied up with him for a while, which I think is great, man. Their match was pretty awesome. Say what you will about Leo Rush, you liking him or not. Dude is a hell of a worker in the ring, and the chemistry that him and Finn have together is pretty amazing.
I read this interview with Leo Rush this week, and they talked about if he's perceived as cocky backstage, and he flat out said, I think he's 24 now or something. And he said, dude, I'm like, and I paraphrase, he was like, dude, I'm 5'4", and I'm 22. I have to have confidence in my game, because if not, man, with my size and my look, I'm gonna get taken out. Yeah. So, yeah, props to Leo Rush. Becky Lynch in the Stone Cold segment.
Ooh.
So I loved the entire Becky, Ronda, and we're about to get into some Twitter beef here in a minute.
Yeah, we are.
I love the Becky, Ronda, Charlotte, how they're organizing it. I know last week we talked about mixed emotions on a potential triple threat. but they're doing it well. If we do get a triple threat at Mania, we don't know yet. We may get a Ronda Charlotte match at Fastlane, and that sets up Becky Ronda at Mania. We don't know, but if they're going triple threat, they're doing it the right way because you have Ronda, who's a face, and she's, I'm for the people. I come here, I work hard. And then Becky, who's a super face, but then you didn't have that really, really the add-in that you need is a really, 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 really bad heel. And they got that. And what they did this week is do a segment, the cut to commercial. And the worst thing about the entire segment was just Ronda botching the I think the final lines in her word, the final lines that she had. They ended up botching that and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But it set it up well to where Ronda tells Stephanie, calls out Vince, but tells Stephanie, you know what? Me versus Becky is what really is best for business. I really don't like this chick. I want to beat her up at WrestleMania. If you're not going to give me that, then I can tell you don't want what's best. So take your title. I'm out. I'm out. And now Charlotte's tweeting and saying on SmackDown, "Hey, that title's vacant. I'm gonna stop by Raw.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna take it." And it was great. It's just great that if it is going to a triple threat, it's great that the way they're organizing it and how it's all working out. You know what I mean? It's great the way that they're going about it and they're doing everything. So I'm just really appreciative of what they're doing, assuming they're going into a triple threat and turning Charlotte into the super heel. So that was, and Becky had her Stone Cold moment of getting arrested. So all three of them came out, even though Ronda, yeah, sure, she botched a couple lines here and there, but they all three came out on top.
Yeah. I echo the same sentiments as you are, man. I've got a different outlook on why Charlotte was actually put into this match. Initially I had thought that it was to maybe overcompensate for maybe Ronda. But I think I honestly think that they're putting her in here as a second option in the event that things go south between Ronda and WWE. I don't have anything to back this up, but it just kind of the mannerisms that I've been overseeing or that I've been like particularly paying attention with Ronda kind of seems as though like she's frustrated. And it's kind of like that whole TJP thing. It's just that this vibe and her performance just seems like she's kind of making a mockery of things. And I'm hoping that that's not the case, but maybe they're seeing the writing on the wall, and to get ahead of it, that they're going to put Charlotte there so that if for whatever reason Ronda decides to just skip out, pull a Brock Lesnar or like a Alundra Blaze or whatever, that they'll actually have a backup match just to be there. Ideally, I would like it for Charlotte to not be in this feud, especially in light of the Twitter beef. But the Twitter beef and the way that it went sideways kind of makes me believe that that's the reason why Charlotte was put into this three-way dance.
So I think that it's just future planning. I think that if the word out there is true that Ronda's done after Mania, you have to have something like a contingency plan.
Yeah.
For, all right, she might be leaving. I don't think she's checked out. I don't think she's given up. I think Ronda has exceeded by tenfold every expectation.
I agree.
That's been put in front of her. They're just saying, you know what? If she really is going to leave, then we don't get a Charlotte Ronda match that we really wanted to headline, a major pay-per-view. And now we have to choose. So let's just put all three of them in the ring, and then we could have Charlotte and Becky continue on and do their thing. And then, let Becky, because Becky's going to end up probably on Raw at some point, especially if she wins the championship. But let's get into the Twitter beef.
Yeah, man.
Twitter beef. Today, we're not gonna go, tweet for tweet or anything on this, but man, Becky and Ronda are continuing to go at each other, and it got to today. Well, paraphrase, long story short, they were tweeting back and forth, and then Becky tweeted out a picture of her putting somebody in an armbar, and Ronda saying,
Other way around.
well, I'll get to that part.
Okay.
Becky tweeted out a picture of her putting somebody in an armbar, and Ronda responds with, that's a fake armbar. It looks like you're trying to grab the dick that you wished you had.
Bro, you're messing up the story, man. That's not how it went, son.
No, I'm not gonna go tweet for tweet because this thing's been going on.
You got the setup, man, was the greatest part of that whole thing, man. I mean, Becky sent a tweet photoshopping Ronda in a Tommy Wiseau outfit, bro. That was flipping amazing.
That was great. If you've seen
amazing
Boiler Room, then yeah, that's where it started. And dropped the messing up lines, and then she photoshopped Ronda Rousey's face over Tommy Wiseau. Oh, hi, Mark. My favorite. Have you seen it? What's it? The Room.
I've seen the clips, man. I got to watch the movie though.
The movie's bad. My friend told me to watch The Room when I was in college, and he was like, dude, this is the greatest movie ever. You know, in younger days after college, we come home from a bar 2-3 in the morning. He puts this movie on, and I watched the entire thing, and I remember thinking, what the hell did I just watch? And and I'm trying to understand the whole time, man, what does my friend see in this movie? And then he tells me at the end, hey, man, and this was before like Reddit, Rotten Tomatoes, and he's like, yep, that movie is rated one of the worst movies of all time. And then years later, James Franco does a movie about it. But yeah, isn't that nuts? That she photoshops him, and then Becky then tells Ronda, don't use the F word, fake. And then, long story short, you can check it out on the Twitter line.
Yeah.
She switches out. She puts a picture of Travis Brown, Ronda Rousey's husband, as the face and as the head in the armbar. And then Ronda responds, it's something along the lines of, going off script, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you I'm gonna beat the shit out of you the next time I see you.
She breaking kayfabe, bro.
You know what? And Tommy, you saw Tommy Wiseau replied, right?
Yeah, he did, man. They need to book Tommy Wiseau because we need to have that epicness happen. Just like my boy Smarkdown says in the chat. We need to book that stuff. We really do.
He needs to be the special guest referee. Oh, hi, Ronda. Okay, Sage, your homework by WrestleMania.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know where you can watch it. Is to watch The Room.
Okay, I'll watch it. It should be on Amazon, bro. I'll watch it on Amazon.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
Or Vudu.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, Blue Box, Blockbuster's busted ass Red Box. It's out there, but watch it and just. As a matter of fact, if Mrs. the Mark wants to watch it, you should watch it because it's bad. And even just when you're watching it, the editing of it, you're like, bro, you legit used a star swipe. All right, the star filter into the next scene. The editing of it is so bad.
Oh man!
But it's set up like a very real movie. Either which way, SmackDown this week.
Yeah, man.
Let's get into SmackDown.
Let's do this.
Because I feel like, all right, we'll talk about Batista real quick, and we won't talk about it too long, so we got to move on. Yeah. That was the best way for him to come back, right?
Yeah, I mean, considering I thought that Becky was going to be the one to attack Ric Flair, this one just came out of left field for me. And
and there were all sorts of spoilers online that day too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch any of it. I don't think anyone caught Batista in any of the spoilers though.
They did.
Okay, because I know that there was some of The Rock. I think I saw some of that floating around, but okay.
But it was only because Batista was filming a movie in the same city that day.
Gotcha.
So it was that he was naturally there, and then it kind of got word kind of got out that he's backstage and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
SmackDown. So the first 5 minutes of SmackDown,
Mhm.
amazing. I was playing Blackout, not Apex, this week, and Dabi Amori said, "Dude, did you watch SmackDown?" I said, "No, I'm gonna watch it as soon as I log off." And he said, "Oh, I just watched the first 5 minutes. It's good this week." Start off with the contract signing, and the fans are going nuts. Kofi, Kofi, Kofi. The fans are going nuts. He's about to sign the contract, and then Vince McMahon comes out, and it was a great crowd because they even sang the No Chance in Hell. And out comes your new number one contender, just because Vince McMahon says somebody who
Yeah.
deserves it more. Now, I thought it was cheap for like a split second. I was like, man, this is kind of tacky. Like, but then I thought, damn, just in principle, Kevin Owens, as good as he is, he could deserve a title shot anytime he wants. This is great. And Kevin Owens telling Kofi later in the show, hey, look, this has nothing to do with me. And he came off as he's always had this forever like, look, I'm a guy, I got a wife, I got kids. I don't give a shit about you guys. I'll shit on you the first chance I get if it means that I can have a better life for me and my family. When he does his heel shtick. But he told Kofi, he mentioned it to Shane McMahon actually. Hey, look, I have nothing to do with this. Basically, but I'd be stupid to not turn down this opportunity. So I loved that opening segment, man. What did you think about Vince McMahon being the one to announce that change?
Two things, man. I absolutely loved it. Because it sucked the entire oxygen out of the crowd. And pretty much everybody else. Because you were at a point where like you want to be happy for Kevin Owens that he's back, but at the same time, you don't want to take any of that momentum away from Kofi. So who do you cheer? What do you do? It was a legit emotional reaction, which I thought kudos to WWE for doing that. And then the second thing is that I've been kind of going back in the tape and just like trying to understand what's going on, like the overarching theme with Vince McMahon, because this is the third time that he's kind of gotten involved um, with booking. The very first time is when he did it with AJ, and then he AJ ended up slapping him, and he kind of had that little scuffle with him. And the second time was with Charlotte, and then the third time with Kofi. So I don't know what's going on, but I feel like that there's a storyline that's a brewing that's going to be maybe like either some type of civil war going on between Vince McMahon and the kids. And maybe this is our swan song for Vince McMahon. I'm thinking that that's what this is going to lead to.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Because I thought about the same thing, that he's interjected himself to screw over Becky and now to screw over Kofi, both two people who are very, very over. So I like this segment. I like that Kevin Owens kind of saved face a little bit and just gave the look. Anybody who gets a title opportunity, I got to take. And it sucked the life out of the crowd, not in a bad way, but just seeing the New Day yelling, that's messed up, that's messed up. And Kevin Owens saying, look, I'll tell you what, I'll tag with Kofi tonight, man. The guy deserves it. So it's kind of like he's coming out. He's still playing that dad husband role. Like, I got to do my thing. It looks good, by the way, coming back.
Yeah, for sure. A new tattoo on his arm.
Oh, yeah. Got some new tattage. And no, but it was great. SmackDown. SmackDown then went on to R-Truth and Carmella.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That segment, R-Truth came out and was like, I'm going to follow my hero, John Cena. And he says, I'm going to do the U.S. Open Challenge. And didn't he say something along the lines of like, hey, but when do I have to do it? Do I got, like, he asked Carmella, like,
yeah,
when does it have to start? So it starts now. Andrade comes out. Mysterio attacks Andrade. And he asks, hey, what would John Cena do? And Carmella says, oh, he'd probably take on both of them. And he goes, "Damn, he brave."
Yeah. Man, I love this run that our truth is going through right now. And I love the way that this finished. It didn't make anyone look weak at all. I am a little concerned with Ray taking so many pins. But I mean, I guess at his career he doesn't really care. I mean, I know that they
It
don't
doesn't
really
matter
care,
when you're a
but
veteran like that. Once you hit
yeah.
super veteran status, it doesn't matter how many wins or losses you get.
Yeah, it makes me think that he's probably going to be the next one to actually take the title. I'm predicting that they're going to have some type of multi-man match for the U.S. title at Mania, and it's either Ray or Gargano that's going to end up taking the title from R-Truth.
You think Rusev or Nakamura will be at Mania, or just in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
Oh, that's a good call.
No, they'll be in the Andre the Giant
I
Battle
think
Royal.
they'll be in the Andre the Giant one, man. I think that they're going to have mostly new blood in this multi-man match against for the U.S. title, but I really do think it's either going to be Ray or Gargano that's going to take this title.
I disagree with the Gargano or Ciampa or any recent NXT call-ups in the title match, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a multi-man match for the U.S. title that has Andrade, Ray, Truth, and maybe one other person. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a multi-man match for the U.S. title at Mania. But yeah, I love the R-Truth segment. Love what they're doing with the guy.
Yeah.
What else on SmackDown outside of the main event were you heavily impressed with?
I mean, that to me, I think that was pretty much it. I did feel like it had a lackluster ending to it. I mean, I get the point to it, but I just thought it was a bit lackluster to be honest with you.
SmackDown?
The way SmackDown ended, I think it was just kind of lackluster. It just
It kind of
it
ended
wasn't.
abrupt. I mean,
Yeah, it
but
was
Kevin
just
Owens using the Stone Cold Stunner was great.
it was, man, but it was just like not like if I were to watch this for the first time and I saw it end like that, like I would be like, I'm not watching this next week.
Why?
It
I
just
thought you would have
didn't.
marked out with Kevin Owens debuting a new finisher.
Nah, man, I would have much preferred maybe they cut to the back and had a segment with Vince McMahon and whatnot. I mean, I guess Vince is going to be the hook, but I would have loved for maybe Stephanie or Triple H having a conversation with McMahon and saying, "Hey, what's going on? This is the second time that you've done this to us, or this is the third time that you've done this to us. What's going on?" And then he's just walking away. Like to me, that would have probably been a better hook than just kind of Stone Cold Stunner 1, 2, 3, and that's the end of it. Like to me, I just think it was just anticlimactic, man.
Yeah, I could see that. If
Yep.
that's the route they're going with the Vince McMahon thing, I'll like, because if you notice, and people are bitching about it online and tweets and stuff, but the true authority angle isn't back. Like, since the McMahon family said, "Hey, we're listening to fans, we'll be here every week," it's not a true authority angle. Yeah, Vince McMahon's doing some stuff, but it's not. I mean, if it was a true authority angle, Ronda Rousey would have put an armbar on Stephanie this past week or something like that. But they're not doing that. So I kind of like I like what the McMahons are doing right now. But you're right, it was an abrupt ending. Love the Stone Cold Stunner from Kevin Owens this week. I thought that was, if that's his new finisher, I think that could be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he still has the pop up power bomb that he'll use as a power move and whatnot. But I think just, you know what, have some fun, do the Stone Cold Stunner. It could be, and Stone Cold gave him his blessing on Twitter, so that's a
Nice.
certain plus.
Who did he do the pop-up stunt or pop-up power bomb to? Did he do it to Rowan?
No, he did it, Daniel Bryan,
He did do it to Daniel
and
Bryan.
Daniel
Okay,
Bryan kicked out.
I was worried about him taking that bump, but
Yeah. Anything else we got to touch on this week?
Just a quick program note, man. I'm not trying to close early or anything like that, but just remember, guys, we have a contest going on. Our Apex Legends contest going on, giving away 11,000 coins. There is a video, so just make sure that you guys check that video out. I'll put a link to the show notes to that video, but all you have to do is literally go on that video, make sure that you like it, subscribe to it, or subscribe to our channel, and just put in the comment section who you like to roll with on Apex Legends. If you haven't played Apex Legends yet and you plan to do so and you want to get those coins to be eligible, then all you have to do is just put in the comment section who you think Daniel Bryan is going to ultimately face at WrestleMania. And that is as a little program note.
Yep, it's a lot of coins to give away. Speaking of Apex Legends, I hate that game, but I think it's just because I haven't gotten used to it. So when we do our podcast and you log into Hangouts, Skype, however we're going to do this, is the Xbox in the same bedroom?
For me?
Yeah.
No. My Xbox is in the game room. My PlayStation is in the studio.
Okay. Because we're doing some talking about Apex Legends right now, and we've talked about it the past 2 weeks too, but instead of talking about it, what do you say we be about it? You want to hop on some Apex as we wrap up the show this week?
I'm good, man. You let me know when you're ready. Your boy will get on
right now.
And okay, we'll get on right now. And you know what, guys? If you're listening to this podcast either live or you're listening to this on the audio podcast, yo, if you're on Xbox, look for that group. It's Real Wrestling Podcast. Join that group because that's where we send the invites out so that you guys can play with us, play the games. So just make sure y'all hit us up on that Xbox. It's Real Wrestling Podcast or Ben_Goosen, or is it Ben Space Goosen? I can never remember.
It's Ben Space Goosen. Just hit me up. Just join. I have parties all the time. Just join. And all you got to do is say, "Hey, heard you on the podcast. Let me join up because you're trash at Apex. Let me school you on how to join this." Hey, everybody, we had a great week in wrestling. Sage, Mark, and I, we're going to hop on some Apex. If you're listening to this show, the live version, we're going to hop on some Apex. Hit me up anytime at Real WrestleCast or just join my Xbox Live parties at Ben Space Goosen. Great week in wrestling as we approach the road to WrestleMania. All me and my boy Sage Mark got to say is keep it real.
Keep it real.
Hey, the thoughts and opinions expressed today are that of the IRWP and not of the host. Hey, check us out at Real WrestleCast. We're pretty easy to find on Twitter, and we do respond. You can hit us up. Type in, it's this easy. It's Real Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, and you will find us as well. And, you know, if you're going to type that in on Instagram, go ahead and type it in on Spotify. We're brand new on Spotify. Spotify verified. It's Real Wrestling Cast. It's Real Wrestling Cast. Excuse me. You'll easily find us. Again, remember, keep it real.